following story is a true story about how when somebody believes too strongly in folklore, it can ruin a life and lead to a great tragedy. Bridget Cleary was an Irish woman who, in 1895, was killed by her husband who believed she was a fairy changeling. In folklore, a changeling is a fairy which is switched with a human infant. In many cases, a changeling seemed like the only rational explanation for unknown diseases, or when somebody does not fit the norm of what society was at the time. Although her age, for she was 26 at the time, perhaps makes Bridget's case unique, it was with such illness that her troubles began. She lay in bed with a fever for over a week, going undiagnosed by her physician and believed sufficiently ill enough to have a priest administer the last rites before her husband and father declared her to be a changeling. In a curious ritual aimed at expelling the fairy from her body, they doused her in urine and sat her before the fireplace. A few days later she went missing. Her father reiterated his beliefs that she had been taken by fairies. However, Bridget's burnt remains were soon found nearby in a shallow grave. Evidence suggested that, as the Cleary family gathered at Bridget's sickbed, an argument tinged with fairy mythology had erupted, and Bridget had offended her husband by telling him the only person who had gone off with the fairies had been his mother. This escalated into him menacing his wife with the flaming stick, which ignited her dress. He then threw an oil lamp on her, all the while claiming that she was a changeling and that he would, by these means, get his wife back. He was convicted of manslaughter, though some believed he concocted a fairy defence after Bridget's murder so he might get a lesser sentence. In the time, that was believed as a true reason for getting off of a severe sentence. 9 other people were also charged for their involvement in the murder, demonstrating how widely believed fairy folklore was amongst these rural Irish communities at the time. There are many stories of how the changeling folklore tales have affected families in Ireland. One of the main things that would happen was they would usually put the child or the afflicted person into a fire, for it would believe that when the person wanted to get the fairy rid, the fairy would fly back up the chimney and their own child or their family member would be returned to them. Another thing that would happen was they would spray the child in front of a well, and then, shockingly, they would drop the child down the well and expect, stupidly, their own child to come back up through the well given to them by the fairies. Archaeologists excavated many wells, medieval wells, and found, sadly, many bones of young infants found in these wells. But this case that I just told you was the last recorded case in which the fairy folklore was used in court as a defence for murder. Thank you very much. Hope you learned something today. Goodbye.